So after watching Brahms the Boy 2, God damn, I hate that title, I went and saw Impractical Jokers, the movie. Now, like The Boy 2, or Brahms the Boy 2, I never have seen Impractical Jokers, the TV show. Have never got around to watching it. I've heard decent things. Actually, I've never really even heard much about it. I don't know many people that really watch it, but apparently it's got a big enough following. I know those guys are like touring around the world, the country and shit like that. I know they came here recently, not too long ago, around here, and I saw it as like, the Practical Jokers, who the fuck are they? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's that TV show I briefly see on a TV guide, but I'd never fucking watch any of it. Like I said, I've heard of it, but I've never watched any of it. And my impression going in, I was like, so is this like a lighter version of Jackass? I don't know. Then I read the plot and like saw the trailer, because I never got a trailer for this one fucking bit at all. Like, again, I don't know how that's possible, especially since I go to the movie theaters all the damn time and see everything that comes out. I don't know how I didn't get a trailer for this, but I didn't. So I went in with like no expectations with this, because I'm a big fan of Jackass, but I'm like, this seems like a more tamer version of Jackass, if I've ever seen one. It seemed like it's basically Jackass, but without all the crazy stunts and more of the hilarious pranks they pull out on the public, and also people out in the public. I was like, that's cool, because that is some of the best stuff in Jackass, is when they're doing like the pranks. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I went in with an open mind. I was not really having high expectations going into this, especially not having seen any of the show. And I didn't mind it. I laughed quite a bit in this movie. There was a lot of stuff about this movie I did fucking enjoy. I'd probably say about 90% of this movie I thought was pretty damn funny, and I was on board for. I'll say this though, while I say that I did like the movie, and I did enjoy it, I don't think this needed to be a theatrical release. Why was this a theatrical release? Especially in the fact that like this movie kind of stretches a little too fucking itself too thin, that like it overstays its welcome in some points, and it's like yeah, they had not enough material apparently to fit into this fucking movie, it feels like. But when you go for some of the more, is this movie, I'll say this, the best part about this movie is the pranks. It obviously, I think that's why a lot of people would go see this kind of movie, is for the pranks, and they are really fucking funny. A lot of them are really funny. A lot more hits than misses. There's a couple misses here and there, but more hits than the parts I laughed at in this movie were all when it was dealing with the pranks. I particularly, my favorites were that first prank where they're over at the Washington Memorial, the Washington Memorial, and they're carrying around an urn that supposedly has ashes, and they keep asking people out in the public whether if they could read the eulogy that they're about to read for this person's funeral, and see if they like it. And it's obviously like this really inappropriate, goofy eulogy that like nobody would say, if half brain would go, that sounds really good. I think you should say that at the guy's funeral. But it's funny. It's really fucking well done. I like especially the one part at the end of the one guy's prank where he basically leaves the urn sitting next to the guy he was talking to. That was pretty funny. He's like, the old guy's like, hey buddy, I think you forgot something. I was like, that was pretty funny. I liked the part where they're the prank where they were going for a job interview for the Atlanta Hawks, the work for the Atlanta Hawks basketball team. That was pretty funny. I was laughing my ass off. Like, it's basically a bunch of do's and don'ts of what you should and shouldn't do during a job interview. I definitely recommend not doing any of the things that these guys do during a job interview. You're not going to get the job. And it was pretty funny, like the reactions to these poor people, especially that poor security guard girl at the end. That was pretty funny. That poor girl, she had the patience of a fucking saint. I'll say that. But I thought that was pretty good. What's the other one that was pretty good? I'll give this movie credit. It made Jaden. I didn't think this was possible. It made Jaden Smith likable. There's a prank that involves Jaden Smith, where one of the guys apparently got it on a previous episode of the show. Got a tattoo of Jaden Smith on his thigh. What the fuck? I thought that was a fake tattoo, but apparently that's a real one. And he went to Jaden Smith's movie premiere, which I guess he's making movies still. And he was dressed up as Jaden's number one fan. And he was wearing booty shorts and shit. It was fucking hilarious. And Jaden Smith actually came off really likable and kind of funny. I'm like, that's almost seems impossible. Because he's a jerk. He's a fucking self-pretentious asshole. Every time I see him on fucking anything. Who basically has a silver spoon up his ass because of who his daddy is. The only reason he's famous is because of his dad. But yeah, I thought that prank was pretty good. The stuff that didn't work for me, I'm sure I'm not the only one, was all the wraparound segments that weren't the pranks. And that was involving pretty much all of them involved Paula Abdul. The whole plot of this movie is that during the 90s, they all snuck into a Paula Abdul concert as security guards, and they ruined her concert, and she seeks revenge against them. And 20 years later, they come across her at a Red Lobster, and she invites them to Miami to her concert, get VIP passes. And that's how the whole thing kickstarts, because they're going on a road trip to Miami, and that's how the whole movie kickstarts, and they start doing their pranks. And the opening segment of this movie, I'm sitting there when they're it was funny seeing them try to be younger versions of themselves, but they didn't try to de-age them one bit. They were all just old middle-aged men trying to dress up like they were younger. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny seeing that. At least they're doing that tongue-in-cheek. There's been movies where I've seen that done where they have middle-aged men trying to play high schoolers. I think there was that movie, I Can Only Imagine. I remember it was the last movie that I remember notoriously did that. And it was fucking hilarious. So, yeah. There's that stuff. When that opening segment was happening, and I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, this is not funny. I was just there this is not funny. I was like, this is going to be a painful hour and a half. I was just there I'm not on board for any of this. This is pretty bad. And even the first opening prank where they're filming a prank for their TV show where there's one of them is an indoor mall Santa in the middle of summer, and it's confusing the shit out of little kids, and he's being mean to little kids. And it sounds funny on paper, but it didn't work for me at all in delivery. So I'm like, man, this is gonna be the rest of this movie, I'm in for a long ass sit, especially after sitting for Brahms the Boy 2. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit for this. But it got better. Like I said, it got a lot better once the real prank started. And then there's this whole running gag about the one friend they don't know what he does at night, and they keep going to his room at night, and he's having these weird shindigs going on, a rave party and a Playboy Mansion party or something with a bunch of old people. And yeah, it was just whatever. It was it was not funny. It was just come on, move on. And then the ending of the movie kind of just drags on for way too long too. Once they finally get to Miami, that dragged on way too long, I thought. But again, like I said, the pranks in this movie were pretty funny. The ones that worked were really fucking funny, and I enjoyed the hell of it. I wouldn't recommend seeing it in the theater. It's not worth seeing a ticket price. But I did like it. Decent rental. If you're a fan of the show, I'm sure there was a decent crowd. This movie premiered at number 11 last weekend, and so I thought there was going to be nobody in there. And it had a pretty decent crowd. Quite a few people in there. More than Boy at Brahms, The Boy 2. So, yeah, that was kind of cool and pleasant surprise. A lot of people, pretty much everybody in the theater was having a good old time. And I laughed quite a bit in this movie. I can't say I didn't laugh at all. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend seeing it in the theater. It's just rental, or like, I guess if you are a big fan of the show, you probably will watch it anyways, regardless of what I say. But yeah, it's not a bad. If you've never seen the show like me, I'm kind of curious to watch the show now. Maybe kind of like, all right, I would like to watch these guys. It is Jackass. It's pretty much Jackass light, if I've ever seen anything like that. Like I said, it is Jackass, but without all the crazy, stupid stunts, which is a good thing because that gives their careers a little bit more longevity and not doing the stupid prank stunts that the Jackass guys do. Which I hear they're making another Jackass movie. God damn it, man! Like, they need to stop. Like, I love the Jackass guys, but they need to stop. I got no new trailers in front of this either, so I'm like, what the hell? Like, apparently I've seen every trailer there is. So yeah, who knows what trailer, if I'll get any new trailers in front of the next two movies to see. So I still gotta go see The Call of the Wild, which I really don't want to see either, but fuck it, Invisible Man, which I really want to see, which is what I want to see more than anything, but I'm trying to catch up on everything. So until then, I will talk to you guys later.